Ermac. One of the newest characters to join the roster. He definitely has one of the most interesting and cool looking designs in the whole franchise. I mean, Ermac is a fusion of undead souls, can fly, and has very stylish combos on top of that. The last time we saw him was back in Mortal Kombat X. That was in 2015. But the biggest question on everyone's minds right now is he strong or is he underwhelming? To find out, I will embark on this challenge to spend 7 days learning Ermac, to see why he's so popular and to see if anyone can play him. And I'll be honest, I have never played him before, even in the older games. I always picked Kenshi. Anyways, I'll be playing Combat League to see if I can climb up the ranks to Elder God. As a Johnny Cage loyalist, Ermac will be the 4th character that I'll be playing for the first time. I literally have 0 hours on him. By the way, if you haven't watched the other videos, go check them out. The link will be in the description. Thanks. Before I begin my journey, here are some goals I'll need to complete by the end of this video.
Tremble before Ermac.
Since this is my first time picking up Ermac, let me take a second and play with his buttons. And I gotta say, I really do like his forward and walk back animation. He literally is levitating off the ground, but the fact that he's just dangling his body across while he's floating is what I really love. It's those small details that I like that shows me that this character has a lot of effort put into his whole design. So my first impression of him was great. He definitely feels like he is one for me. Everything from his movement, attack range, attack speed feels really good. But why is Ermac on his knees when he's supposed to be crouching? Oh, I know why.
Serve your queen.
Yes, Mama. Yes, Mama.
The problem is, I don't think he has any projectiles. There's one that could be considered one, and it's a ground pound where it travels down to the opponent. At least it's better than nothing. Anyways, after 30 minutes, here's some bread and butter combos I came up with that will give us something to start out with. Okay, now that we got his bread and butter combos down, next let's take a look at his pressure game. Because combos are not the only thing we need. It's important that we keep ourselves safe but have ways to open the opponent up. By looking at his normals, we get to see whether or not Ermac could keep his turn. I took a quick look at his move list and honestly, I'm a bit confused. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. It looks like Ermac's moves are for the most part safe, but none of them actually leaves you plus on block, so how is he supposed to be a rushdown character? Let's break it down. First, we have Spirit Maker. It has a startup of 7 frames and is +2 on block, which is great. It makes sense because this is his standing 1 normal. Next, we have Sinking Feeling, and this is 0 on block, meaning it leaves you in neutral position where you don't have the advantage, so that has potential in taking your turn back if they don't expect it. Felled Tree is another move that uses your standing 1 normal, but has a low at the end. This is -7 on block, which is barely safe. You do lose your turn though, so there's that. Exorcism has a startup of 7 frames and is -8 on block, which is considered a standard down poke. Next, we have Grasp from Beyond. This move has a startup of 17 frames and is safe on block at -7. Although it has a slower startup, this is meant to be used at mid-range. So it makes sense there's nothing wrong there. Mass Driver is your follow-up attack and is -7 on block. Again, safe but loses his turn if he uses this. Soul Collapser has a startup of 14 and is -6 frames on block. He also has an extended version which is also -6, but it is an overhead. If you want to fully commit to the full string, that is -3 on block. Ceiling Crawl has a startup of 23 frames, is an overhead, and is safe on block at -6. Not too bad for a mix-up. The full version, Join Us, is -3 on block, which is considered pretty good because it leaves you with some advantage on taking your turn. And lastly, we have Dragged Under. That has a startup of 14 frames and is safe on block at -6. It seems to me, based on Ermac's frame data, is that he leans more into the rushdown and aggressive playstyle, but not exactly there. Because some of his moves are plus or gives you faster recovery, but most of his moves are just neutral or just safe enough. So I'm kinda confused to see how he's supposed to be a rushdown type character. I'm thinking it has to do either with his mobility or somewhere where he has to rely his special moves. We will see that once we get there, but for now, hopefully these normals are enough to take my turn back. Now it's time to select the right cameo before we could give online matches a try. This one is going to be a little tough because I heard Ermac can work with a lot of cameos, but the easiest choice will be Jeanette Cage, simply because she can provide easy combo extension that Ermac needs. Another good choice will be Scorpion, because he is also similar to Jeanette Cage where you can extend the combos for more damage. Another one I heard that pairs up well is Chameleon. Of course, she helps anyone because of her insane cooldown and versatile toolkit. But I already seen too much of her everywhere, so I'm tired of seeing her. So with that being said, let's give it a try.
We are Ermac.
So on day 1, I had to play casual matches because I had to familiarize myself with Ermac's moveset. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I really had a bad time because I lost so many games back to back. And I missed that wake up. The wake up's so ass. Wow. It really just wakes up.
This is Sparta!
We
I fucked up. This is part of the learning process, so I had to remind myself that it's okay and not to completely rage. But funny enough, the first game though, I had someone rage quit. I mean, I'm happy that I completed one of our goals, but I was doing nothing but button mashing. I couldn't even do one basic combo at the time.
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, I messed up.
Suck.
Oh, why are you quitting? I'm not even doing that good.
Quitality.
Okay, I'll take it. Anyways, it was not until after the first hour we started to get the hang of things. Ermac feels like he has a lot of potential, and because of that, I was a bit overwhelmed. Not to mention that some of his strings looks exactly the same, or feels the same. So I forgot which one was which, and I had to ping them during the match. Another thing I realized when looking back is that I'm not sure to even how to use Jeanette Cage into my combos. I can't even time it correctly, I always missed, and I dropped it every time. Hell yeah, dude.
Stupid!
Oh no! I almost made that! I don't know what comes after!
Come on, man.
Completely missed. Okay. Damn, this armor wake up is trash.
We accept your challenge.
Before we jump into day 2, there was a new patch that came in today. We now have Takeda, Farah, and some balance patches changes. But I'm interested on what we have in the store because I heard some characters got some classic skins. And oh my god, they finally did it. We have Ermac ninja costume. This couldn't be more perfect. Now we're about to do the video in style. Okay, let's jump back into the video. Okay, so let's polish up a few things first before we get into the good stuff. I need to look up basic strategies that we can use to set up his offense. So I went to YouTube and I came across 2 videos, one from Mount Olympus Gaming and the second from Tweety. Both have great videos on showing you ways to apply pressure to your opponent. I suggest taking a look if you want to start learning Ermac, but let me show you what I've learned. When it comes to Ermac, one of the things he has to rely on when it comes to his pressure game is knowing how to cancel spare punch. The reason for that is because he now gets to play around with the timing of his attacks, which means you could create certain situations that can provide opportunities in opening the opponent up, and all of these options are safe on block. Let's dive into it and let me explain. First, what is Spirit Punch? This is a special move that unleashes a massive blast and sends the opponent offline back full screen. It has 23 frame startup and is unsafe on block at -15. This isn't something that you would use unless you're trying to check your opponent. But the most important part about this move, and this is essentially where Ermac gains his pressure game, you are able to hold on the move, to delay it, and to choose whether to dash forward or dash backwards. If you ever played MKX, this is where the mechanics is similar to. I love that system, and my favorite one was Johnny Cage A-List. Anyway, so let's say you want to play more aggressively, then you can dash forward and continue your strings like Felled Tree. The other option would be if you think he will be blocking everything you do, you can go ahead and dash and then throw the opponent, and punish them for blocking. This is the strike throw game that Ermac excels at. Now, what if you notice he ducks the grabs when coming in? You can play defensively and dash backwards to change the momentum. But what's great is that he also has attacks that can reach at this range, such as moves like Grasp from Beyond that we covered before. If they didn't expect it, you can easily convert it into a combo. Now you also have the option to stagger this, meaning you only using this move by itself to bring the opponent closer and set them up for your other tools, such as heavy weights and join us. That includes an overhead attack in it. Another thing you could also do is use your sweeps after you backdash because it also reaches the opponent. These are pretty good options to use since they will be expecting the overhead most often. This is pretty much the pressure game that you'll be doing to the opponent. It all depends how the opponent reacts because if we look at it from a technical standpoint, these frame data alone means you're not plus, so it's not guaranteed turn. It's pretty much redirecting the opportunity to open the opponent up. Now that we know what to do for Ermac's pressure, let's jump into Combat League and see what this baby can do.
You will need more skill.
On day 3, I was excited to see how this new cancel tech works in an actual match. And to tell you the truth, it was very satisfying to pull off.
Suck. 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 Suck.
Oh, let's go! Damn.
Suck.
Let's go! Cancel, baby! But I quickly found out that it still doesn't guarantee you anything and that most people just mash you out of it. Normally I would save this type of mechanic until the end because I like to learn in baby steps and work up to it. But this move alone you have to use for Ermac's pressure game right away, so I had no choice. And during this day I have faced 2 Ermac players. It was a complete mirror match. Although I lost against both of them, it has taught me a lot on what can be converted or what can you do with Spirit Punch cancels. Instead of being mad, it made me more excited about the potential that could be. But still, it was not fun losing. Damn, alright. He's gonna teach me. Bro.
Write that down, write that down!
Obviously, he knows a lot more than me. What the hell? Oh shit. God damn, alright. Jesus Christ, alright. What the hell? Whoa, that's crazy. I have to say, in my opinion, Ermac seems to be a challenging character to learn because you cannot use his normals to rush down the opponent. You have to master his cancels just to be able to take your turn back. I was confused to see how he was a rushdown character if nothing I do is guaranteed. And let me remind you that his cancel is back forward 1, so doing that after every string can be difficult. And I noticed if you really want to confuse the opponent, you have to be able to do it more than once, because they will expect one cancel and punish you for it. I just wish there were a couple of options that were plus, so it gives you a way to mix the opponent up, thinking you were negative. Because if you had plus frames, you can lock down the opponent on block, meaning you actually get to try other things. But in reality, you have to try to find your punishes, such as a whiff punisher, which requires a more execution and character knowledge, and starting off, that can be challenging as a beginner. Honestly, he feels like a whiff punisher than a rushdown character because in order to be considered as a rushdown, he has to have options that are plus to guarantee his turn. Ermac requires you to really know how to read your opponent because his normals alone will give up his turn. Now, I could be wrong, I just need to continue practicing.
You underestimate our power.
I think it's time to go over Jeanette Cage's potential and show you what she really can do when paired up with Ermac. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Ermac has a big damage scaling problem. And the reason why I say this is because the more cancels you include into your combo, the lower the damage gets. Or if you manage to find a great conversion, you can do all this effort and it still be around 30% damage, where other characters can easily get 40 and 50 off of one touch. It does feel like you are playing catch up compared to your opponents. So I practiced some more, and here's what I learned. After Skipulture Slam, you're able to use Jeanette Cage to convert it into a combo. So the combo, instead of being the standard damage of 19%, you're now able to convert it a little bit more to 29%, so 10% more, which is great. Another way you're able to get more damage with Ermac is to be able to cancel Shrinking Souls. But this one is going to be challenging because you need to actually learn how to cancel the move to do it correctly. To do it is that you have to dash forward after Shrinking Souls. But because he is stuck in this long animation, it's harder to get him out of it and jump to the rest of the combo. But this is the damage that he's able to get if you're able to do it. You can also extend your back throw with Jeanette Cage for a little bit more damage. Instead of the 12%, it'll be 21%. It does have a lot of damage scaling, but if you manage to add this multiple times throughout the match, this can make a big difference. Now, Jeanette Cage also has other abilities that we haven't taken a look yet. They're kinda underrated, so let's go over them and see what we can use online. The other ability she has is Crotch Destroyer, which starts up at 23 frames and has a hit advantage of 34 frames, meaning you have time to set up your other pressure options and still go for offense. On block, it is safe at -6. This can either be used as a wake-up option since it has invulnerability, or I normally use it with Grasp from Beyond to check the opponent if they like to try anything. But the best use for it would be to use it as a restand. But doing so means you'll be giving up damage for setting this up. But for Ermac, it's best to go for damage since his overall damage is low, but it's nice that this option is there. The next ability is Mime Time, which uses herself as a shield. It absorbs attacks and repels opponents. You can hold it longer to extend the duration. This has some potential if you're looking to close the gap on the opponent, or unfortunately you cannot form your own corner if you decide to grab them into it, so I'm not sure how well you can utilize this then. Or use it for offense since on hit it also breaks it apart. I think it's best used to use it as a defensive tool to breathe, or it can be used as your meat shield. I don't know, but your opponent can't still jump over them, which is an issue. Now the last ability is Stunt Double, where you get access to multiple moves for her to do. She essentially gets basic normals like a normal character has, but this can be used to extend combos with. Let me show you some examples online that I found. This, however, can be very difficult to pull off because you're also controlling another character. I don't think I'll be able to learn this quick enough for this video, so we're not going to bother learning it, but I just wanted to show you the potential that she can do with this. So with everything here that we get access to, will this change anything? Let's see. Alright. Let's go, baby! Hell yeah, dude! Alright, baby, let's go. Let's go, set up! Hell yeah, let's go! Oh, hell yeah, brutality! Let's go! Earth brutality. Hell yeah.
Brutality.
We got one of our
Ermac
goals.
wins. We are your end.
I think one of the reasons why I'm having a hard time with Ermac is because I still have not unlocked his full potential yet. So let's do that right now. Let me introduce you to Air Suspension. This special move allows Ermac to hover in the air for a brief second. There are a couple of ways you can launch Ermac in the air to set this up. The first one would be Knee Deep, a forward moving basic normal that is a high, and it starts at 11 frames and is safe on block at -7. Pretty good normal in my opinion. But the fact that it starts as a high means it can be punished against a crouching opponent. There is a full string version, but you wouldn't want to use this because it ends as a double high. The primary use of this though is that you can use it with air suspension to create a pressure option on block. And because your basic normal now is an overhead, you do now have plus frames to work with. The enhanced version allows you to cancel it sooner. However, because the first part is a high, and the fact that there's up blocks in this game, this can be easily countered if they expect it. Another combo starter you can use is with Rising Dead, which starts as a high, starts up at 12 frames, and is unsafe on block at -18, which is okay because air suspension also creates a way to pressure the opponent as well. If we were to combine both, it could all be confusing for the opponent to deal with. This honestly levels up Ermac's pressure game because before, I was using his neutral tools version of pressure, whereas this is a forward moving pressure option. I'm excited to find out how this will work online, so let's jump right into it. Hell yeah, let's go! Alright. Let's go! Oh shit, let's go conversion! Hell yeah, let's go! Let's do this pressure! Let's go! Oh shit, let's go!
There can be only one.
Other tools that greatly benefits Ermac's playstyle are Death Embrace and Hungry Hands. These are not major tools, but these tools could change the momentum if used correctly. Let us begin covering Death Embrace. This special move brings a demon out and converts their spirit into a shield all over Ermac. This has a startup of 56 frames and lasts about 7 seconds. Something to keep note is that you have to have some or any amount of meter for this to work, or it will be gone the moment you run empty. The reason for that is because instead of losing health for getting hit, your meter bar will deplete instead. This is a good trade-off if you see yourself playing more risky when going for offense. This could save you if you time it correctly. The next ability we should look at is Hungry Hands. This is essentially the only projectile that Ermac has in his toolkit that we spoke at the beginning. This is a special move that travels down the screen and hits as a low. Now this complements Ermac's mobility and suspended animation. You could throw the opponent off by making them think you are just jumping normally, or suspending in the air multiple times. So based on my experience, it's not too bad of a move, but what I really wanted to talk about is the enhanced version, which traps the opponent in place if they get hit, allowing you for a free combo. But this does cost 2 bars. I'm not sure why this is very expensive. I guess they wanted to make sure it was not abused, which I could understand, but for having to spend 2 bars, it's not worth using. And it's much better for saving it for a breaker. In my opinion, it should cost 1 bar to incentivize you to use it more. Anyways, now that we got all of Ermac's toolkit covered, I think it's time to show what we can do with everything that we learned. I'm excited. No damage. Oh hell yeah, let's go, conversion.
We are many more plus infinity times infinity no paybacks.
So what are my thoughts after playing a week with Ermac? Well, to tell you the truth, I found him very challenging to play him in the first few days. Sure, having to know how to cancel and pressure the opponent is the first part of it, but his combos and getting to land them is a different story and requires its own timing. I found out that Ermac is somewhat limited in how he can be rewarded. If someone can explain this to me, that would be great. It doesn't seem that you can have two types of cancels in one combo. For example, if I do Spirit Punch cancel into a hit confirm and then wanted to cancel Shrieking Souls for the maximum combo damage, it won't allow me, which is very unfortunate and does not make sense. So the game doesn't want to reward you if you manage to hit someone. So you can't even do 1-2 cancel teleport combo either. This is like playing with your hands tied. No combo expression. Imagine he can finally get real damage in. This tells me that you can't use the cancel to its full potential, only for pressure or setup. In MKX, this would allow you to continue. I understand they had to do it this way to balance it somewhat, but like I said at the beginning, he feels like a whiff punisher more than a rushdown character, because a rushdown character actually needs plus frames to take back their turn. Ermac actually gives up his turn by doing his normals. I feel like Spirit Punch needs to be plus on block and not just somewhat safe on block, so it becomes more threatening. Ermac is difficult because not only you have to get this down, but also master his hard optimal combos, suspended animation pressure, and every other aspect he has to utilize him correctly. But here's my record after everything. Again, I don't look to be the best or care much about stats. It takes me a long time to learn a character, about 2 or 3 weeks, because I like to experiment a lot on what works and what doesn't work and learn from there. I was curious to see where Ermac is placed in the tier list, and it caught me by surprise. I would have thought that because you don't see many Ermac players and the barrier of entry is high, that he would be placed differently. I don't see myself going back to Ermac because although I do like his Spirit Punch cancels, it just does not work the way it was in MKX. Obviously because this is a different game, but that and his damage scaling and also not being plus nowhere kind of ruins it for me. But I have a lot of respect for players who play Ermac because it takes a lot of time and dedication. And I don't have that patience or time to find every optimal way with Ermac. Ermac's main weaknesses are characters that have long reach attacks, against zoners with faster projectiles, and characters with faster options. The more you play Ermac, you start to notice he works best at a certain distance. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Ermac currently. I still have a lot to improve on, especially when it comes to Spirit Punch cancels and air suspended animation cancels. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me trying to master this character. If you guys did, give this video a like and subscribe for more. I'm not sure who I'll be picking next, so suggest that in the comments down below. With that, I hope you guys have a good day.